This video is for the multi-step inequalities notes, and we're going to focus on interval notation and graphing inequalities on a number line. So interval notation is another way of expression or your answer in an inequality. So it uses parentheses and brackets to show where the graph starts and ends. So a parentheses means not included, or it's an open circle. So these are greater than and less than. If you use a bracket, it means it's included or it's closed. So when you have a graph starting or ending on a closed circle, so this is our greater than or equal to, or less than or equal to. So we're going to solve and graph and then write the following inequalities in interval notation. So the first thing we need to do is to distribute. And then we're going to subtract 12 from both sides. And so we get a negative 36. And then we divide by 4. And then x is going to be greater than or equal to negative 9. So this sign right here lets me know that I need to use an open circle. So negative 11, that's where we'll start. So I'm going to put an open circle on negative 9, and x is going to be greater than, so my arrow is going to go this way. So that arrow is going to go on for infinity, forever and ever. So again, it's an open circle, so we would use a parentheses and then do a negative 9. And since this arrow has no end, we use the infinity sign. And we close with another parentheses. Okay, so on the inside. So now we've got a variable on both sides. So we're going to move this 2x. So we'll get 8x plus 1 is less than 9. I'm going to subtract the 1. And then we're going to divide both sides by 8. So we have x is less than 1. There. Oh, sorry, did I? Hang on. Nope, we're good. Give me just a second. Okay, so our number line here. So again, an open circle at 1, and this time x is less than. Okay, so my arrow is now going the other direction. So everything to this direction is going to be negative infinity. So again, it's an open parentheses. And then our circle is at 1. And we use a parentheses again. All right, so on this one, same thing. We've got to move a variable. So we've got 3x plus 20, and then we're going to subtract the 20 from both sides. So we would have negative 21 is less than or equal to 3x. So we would divide both sides by 3. So we'd get negative 7 is less than or equal to x. Or is less than or equal to x. And so here, we're going to use a closed circle at 6, or at negative 7, I apologize. So we're going to do negative 9, negative 8, negative 7, negative 6, negative 5. So closed circle at negative 7. And x is actually greater than negative 7. So it's going to be all the points this way. And so we're going on and on to infinity. So infinity is going to be our last number. And then negative 7 is going to be here. And so that's going to be a bracket because it is a closed interval. And then infinity will always be an open bracket or an open parentheses or a parentheses. All right, so here we're going to distribute. So remember, this is like a negative 1 here. So we're going to distribute a negative 1 across here. So we would have negative 1 times a 2 would be a negative 2x. Negative 1 times a negative 7 would be a positive 7. So if we combine like terms here, we'll get negative 2x plus 10. And then we can add the 2x to both sides. So we'll have 10 is less than or equal to 34, and then this will be minus 4x. So we can subtract the 34 from both sides. Sorry, I'm running out of room. So 10 minus 34 would give me a negative 24 and a negative 4x. So now remember, if we divide by this negative 4, my sign is going to flip. So I would get a 6 is greater than or equal to x. So here we're going to do, let's just do 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. So again, a closed circle, and x is less than 6. So our arrow is going to go this way. So again, we're going towards negative infinity. So that's going to be a parentheses. And then 6 is where my closed interval starts. And so that will be a bracket. Okay. So again, we have got to distribute. So we're going to distribute this 3 across. So I've got negative 3x minus 6 minus 3x. And then 2x plus 18. So we're going to combine like terms. So I've got a negative 6 minus 6. And then we'll add 6x to both sides. And then we can subtract 8 from both sides. So I've got a negative 14. Nope, I'm off somewhere. Oh, that should be 18. I apologize. So negative 6 plus a negative 18 should be a negative 24. And then we're going to divide both sides by 8. So I'm going to write my solution here. So negative 24 divided by 8 would be a negative 3 is less than x. So an open circle at negative 3. X is actually greater than negative 3. So my arrow is going to go in this direction. So I'm going towards infinity. So I'm going to start with my negative 3 this time. End on infinity. All right, so now we're going to distribute twice. So again, this is like a negative 1. So 5x minus 3x minus 18, and then 8 minus x plus 7. So we've got a lot of stuff to combine here. So this has got to get combined, and this has got to get combined. So we've got 2x minus 18 greater than or equal to 8 and a 7 is going to give me a 15 minus x. So we're going to add x to both sides. So we've got a 3x minus 18 greater than or equal to 15. Then we can add this 18 to both sides, and we'll have 3x, and then 15 plus 18 is 33. Divide by 3, and we're left with x is, I missed my sign, greater than or equal to 11. So 9, 10, 11, 12. So a closed circle, x is greater than, so I'm going towards infinity. So closed circle means a bracket. My first number is 11. I'm going towards infinity. So that's where it'll end. All right, last problem here. We've got to distribute again. And again, it's like distributing a negative 1 over here. So this would be negative 3x minus 3 minus 2x, and then minus 4x plus 8 minus 2. Going to combine like terms here and then here. So negative 3 and a negative 2 is a negative 5x minus 3, then a negative 4x plus, should be 6. Okay, so let's move the 5x. So I will have negative 3 is greater than x plus 6. I'm going to subtract the 6 from both sides, and I get negative 9 is greater than x. So open circle at negative 9. X is less than negative 9. So I'm going towards negative infinity. So negative infinity, comma, negative 9. So that's it for this video.